Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Ladonia from Keep It Crafty with Ladonia, and this is the September 2022 video for the Team Jazzledazzle video hop. The theme this month is texture, so I have used die cuts, embossing folders. We're going to add dimension with foam pads. We're going to do a bit, so we'll get started. This is just a standard card base, and it's in basic white, so that's half a sheet. It's full width but half the height of an A4 piece of card, so I'll cut it across the middle and then I'll score down the middle to make my card base. So that is that ready and done with. We'll put that to one side. The first bit I prepared was this piece here, and before I did anything to it, I used my blending brush with Parakeet Party ink and just did a little bit of subtle blending. I just sort of went in an S to give us just a little bit of colour in the background. I wanted to do that before the embossing because I didn't want any harsh lines of the brush hitting where the embossing was, so I did that before the embossing. And the embossing folder I used was Brick and Mortar 3D, which is really nice, and as you can see we've got some good texture on there. That's really nice for the background layer. This layer itself, now I use a rectangle stitched framelits dies, but if I show you, this is the biggest die and it's longer. So what I did was I took a piece of card that is the same size as the front of my card base. So what I did was I lined it up so as I knew, I eyeballed it all, I didn't measure it. I lined it up so as I could see roughly how much edge I'd got, and then I wanted roughly the same measurement at the top. So I ran that through my die cut machine, but only down to about here, and then I brought it back out again. Then I picked my die up and moved it down and did the same measurement on the other end, because if you want to do that, you can move this about because it's got stitching on it. You can actually feel when the stitching falls into place. That is in place now, that's not moving because the stitching has caught into where it's already got the stitching in the card. So you can do that, but I do suggest using a little bit of washi tape to secure it so it doesn't move when you put it in. And then you can make your die cuts longer or shorter, but that's what I did with that. So that gave me the size I needed for our, because these dies I believe are sized for American cardstock. And our card fronts are a different size. So now we've got roughly the same border, top and bottom, as we have on the sides. Because like I say, I eyeballed it. It's not exactly to the millimetre, but I'm happy with that. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that flat. I'm just going to use some wet glue. Oh, looks like I'm getting low on glue. It's okay if we run out. I've got some in the drawer next to me. I'm just going to stick that in the middle, like that. Oh, let me pop that in my embossing folder, otherwise I forget what they're called. So that's that, got out the way. Get rid of that piece of card as well. So that's the first piece done. The second piece I prepped was this. Now, as you can see, I laid my brush down there and got ink on it, but we'll cover that up, that doesn't matter. But all these circles, I've interlocked them all. And the way I got my circles is from Stylish Shapes dies. And I took all of them and stuck washi tape across the back. Then I just ran it through the die machine like that, stuck that to the card and to the plates. But do be careful when you're doing things like this. Make sure that your dies don't move. Keep an eye on it as it's going through. It doesn't matter if it goes crooked and you ruin your card. Card is cheap, but you don't want to be ruining your dies, and you certainly don't want to be ruining your machine. So make sure your dies don't move and sort of overlap each other, because you don't want them to go through the machine like that. But that's how I got all of my circles. And let me just pop those out of the way. And then I snipped them. So each one of these, except for the big one, I didn't snip the big one, but every other one has been snipped and then just stuck. The only places they're stuck at the moment is where they've been snipped and then attached. So that piece is stuck there, that one's there, that one's stuck there, and so on. And then I have added a few more tiny bits of tape. That'll be the anchor points when they go onto the card front. But yeah, so just snip them and then you can interlock them as you like. Now, I got this idea from another demonstrator. He used the squares, not the circles. So I'll try and remember to link that video. It is a fabulous card. Do watch it. It's brilliant. It's a man called Jay from Jazzledazzlecraft, I believe is how you say it. I will link that video below. Please watch it. It's really, really good. So we're just going to stick that on the front there. So I'm just going to take my little pieces of backing paper off. So I've only got tiny, tiny pieces of double-sided tape on the back. But that's all we need, because other things will help hold it in place when we get going. I had a look and a play about and decided that I only really needed these parts as anchor points. But I imagine as we go through, I will forget where I wanted to put things. So now we've got an anchor point up there somewhere, one over here. I think there's one in the middle there somewhere, and then one on this side. Just give it a squash down. And that is on there. So the next thing I did was I stamped and die cut these. I stamped off, so this is all second generation stamping. And I used the Nature's Prints stamps and coordinating dies for that. Because this is a really nice, such a really nice set. Really, really pretty. So I've used that. I'm just gonna, now I did lay these down and work out where I wanted them. We need to remember we need to cover that part. So that can go there. And I think I had 2 of these up here somewhere. I did lay them out quickly just to see what it looked like. And I'm putting them under different parts of the circles. That one went under there somewhere because we have a sentiment. It's going to sit across there. The sentiment is from the go-to greetings. You've got happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, and thank you. But you've got all of those in this font, and this font here. And then a little hello as well. So you've got 4 sentiments in 3 different fonts, which I think is really good. I do like this set. So that's going to sit across there somewhere. So I want that one sort of poking out the bottom. So we're going to put some of this on dimension and some not. So this one here at the back, that's going to go flat. So we'll just pop some glue down there. And then tuck it under and give it a squish. We don't need glue all the way up the top. We're going for texture, so a bit sticking up is just what we want. And then this here, I think we'll stick that one in with wet glue as well. But we're going to come over the top of this circle, but under this one here. So just there. Like so. And then this one I think we might put up on dimensions. So I'm going to grab my mini ones out. And just put a few on. Please pop into the description box, check out Janice's video. There may be another one, I'm not sure, but there will certainly be my video and Janice's. So please check them out. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you've got time, leave us a comment. It would be lovely if you did. So I'm just taking all these little backs off. I'm going to pop that, making sure that I cover that splodge up. We don't want that showing. So there we go. I've got a hair there. So let me just pick that out the way. There we go. Let's get rid of that. So now that's raised up. Now, should we... Where should we go with this one? We could raise this one up as well. But I'm not going to put dimensionals too close to the bottom. Now have I? we need to make a space for that circle there to sit between. So if that can sit between these two pads, and then it won't make it wonky then. So I'm just gonna slide that in. I'm just gonna pick it up a little bit so I can have a look. That's it, just to make sure that there was one dimension on either side of this circle here, and then like I say, it won't be wonky. This here, I think we're going to put a bit of coordinating ribbon on. This is Parakeet Party ribbon, goes with the ink. I stamped the message in full strength. I didn't stamp off in that because I wanted it to be a little bit bolder. So let's pop a bit of tape on the back of there to attach our ribbon to. Oh, just a little bit too long. Let's take that off. Take the backing off, and then we can just a couple of loops top and bottom maybe. So I've just stuck it on the back, done a little loop at the top, and then we'll try and get a similar size at the bottom. Keep pressing it down into the double-sided tape. It will keep coming off if you're not careful. And see if we can get another loop. Oh. See, how does that look? That doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit straighter though. So, but you can just lift it up and back down again with the double-sided tape. I think that top bit looks okay. So let's see if we can do the same again at the bottom. Just not quite right, is it? So let's try again. And if we go, let's try this, go on this side, see if that makes it look any better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna, oh, where's my snips? Just gonna snip that off at the back there, so as we can't see the end of the ribbon. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that up again, because I'm going to raise this up on foam pads, so we don't want things sticking to the back of it. So I've covered it up, and then we're not going to take this backing off. So give it a good press down, and then it will stay put. There we go. So if we pop some dimensionals in there, I'm going to get the bigger ones out for this, because it's slightly bigger. Oh, and this also came from the set I showed you earlier. It's the larger banner die, which is really pretty. They're all really pretty. There we go. So we'll just pop this on. I'm going to go at an angle. I'm going to go over this stem here to hide that. If we go at an angle, then we see this bottom leaf as well. There we go. So that is that. Now there's one more thing. The other night, last night I think, I've got these are new. Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics, and this is the white one. It comes in real red and black as well, but I used the white one. I haven't used them before, so I taped down a piece of my a section of glue dots. There was 5 glue dots on here, so I'll put some washi tape on them onto my mat. Let me lift that up, make sure it's not glaring at you. And then I had a go with my enamel dots. Now which one was it? This was the first one I did, and it's a bit flat. I don't know if you can see. There's not a lot of dimension in there, but these other 4 have got a lot more dimension, and they're quite quite large because I was covering the glue dots. So let's see if that works. I haven't moved them yet. So let's go for the larger ones first. Oh, it's come off nicely. And they're plenty solid enough to be able to give a squash down. So that's good. Also, you don't have to use them on the glue dots. You can just put it straight onto your card. But if you want to prep ahead, or you don't like it when you've made your card, you then have to wait. Because obviously you would have to wait for them to dry. You can put them on glue dots and have them ready. So where should I put these other two? Well, I think we'll put that small one on the sentiment. So we've got one more here. Shall we go? Just no. Nope. In there. We'll go in there. They're not perfectly solid, but there isn't much give there. And then this tiny one doesn't quite cover the glue dot. So I'm just gonna try and roll the edges of the glue dot in, and now I'm completely stuck to my pokey tool. So let's try again. No, that's misshapen now. Right, so yes, that small one has not worked. So now we've got an odd number, an even number. Well, ideally we want an odd number. Can we pick that one back up? I don't know. Let's give it a try. Don't know till you try. Because these glue dots are really quite strong. I don't want an even number. I'm just going slowly, slowly. Picking it. There we go. That's come off. We'll save that for another project. So we've got the three. So the one that I did, the very first one I did, hasn't worked because it got stuck to my pokey tool, and then I tried to sort it out and I've messed it up. As you can see there, look, it's all misshapen now, and you can see my nail mark in it. So that's not so good. But these are great. So I think one last thing, I'm going to pop some Wink Stella on some of the bricks, just to give it a bit of more visual texture. So we'll just do some of them. Pick out random ones. There we go. I don't know if you can see that sparkle. Let me lift it up. See if you can see the sparkle at all. Don't think you can. That's a shame. But there was definitely sparkle there from the Wink of Stella, which is absolutely lovely. So that is my card for the September Team Jazzledazzle video hop. Please check out Janice's video. The link for that will be in the description box. And also please check out the video of Jay, who I got the idea from for interlocking the die cuts. It is a fantastic card. Please do go check it out. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.